Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Winter's Wish, continuing Romance and Tojo. So yeah, picking up where we left off, which you know better than I do. It's been a few days for me. We ran away with him, but not really. We were banished because we sided with him, and we were like, "Don't hurt our poor little tobacco pouch. He did nothing wrong. He's innocent, even if he has a filthy habit." But anyway. We promptly set out for Samurai Town to gather information. What now? First, let's go talk to the families of the missing children. We need to find out what was going on when they disappeared. Also, my voice is still wrecked because I have not taken, I don't have my few days off. Like I haven't gone away last weekend. Weekend before? Wait. I'm very confused. It's this weekend for me, but it's like last weekend or the weekend before, I think, for you guys. Whatever. Jesus Christ, at this point, it's almost April. It's not. I don't like time. Anyway, this is disturbing. Because this week, this week, the end of this week is April, isn't it? Wait, no. Wait, that can't be right. No. No, I'm like way ahead in my head. But I'm not really ahead. I don't know. I'm very confused. I'm getting old. Forget Grandma. Just go back to playing with your toys, kids. I've had a very rough day. It's been very hard, so I don't know what's wrong with me. And also, daylight savings time has completely screwed with me, and I don't like it. I've been personally victimized, and if I'm entitled to compensation, I need to know the scam lawyer to call, because, like, I don't like it. It's stupid, and it's dumb. Anyway, Spacey, keep an eye out for any emotional imprints. I'm on it. We decided to pay a visit to my Tea Party pal Chie first. Which is good, because we know she had some kind of information or something, or her son did. Oh my god. I had turned up my headset really loud to see if the audio was crunchy, but I was like, of course, there's no background music. So this part, it's like, boom! It came in and it's so loud, I was like, the fuck is that? Oh my, guys. Holy hell. It's not for you. You can probably barely hear it, but holy shit balls did that come up? Because like the way it picked up, it wasn't just bing starts in. It's like it does this whoom, and it's like, oh my god, what is that? Because I couldn't see even the sound registering at all as that came in, and I'm like, am I being attacked? Okay, I'm not doing well. I'm very sorry. Oh good lord, I need to turn my volume on my computer down too. Anyway, when we stopped by the Tamba residence, however, the servants who came to receive us told us that Chie wasn't home. We asked about the rest of the family and were told they'd gone out and couldn't see us. In the end, we couldn't get any information from the Tamba family. Well, that's unfortunate because we know they know something. Well, like her kid knows something, and she knows something probably because of what her kid told. You know. We headed to another house afterwards, only to have the same result there. The servants must have been busy because they treated us rather coldly. After this happened to us a few times in a row, we realized something was amiss. I was going to say, we tried to go to another house and got the same treatment. I'm like, that sounds shady. Here you go. Do you think they're avoiding us? And they're probably avoiding me, to be precise. It makes sense when you think about it. The children who went to Tojo's temple school had all gone missing one by one after all. Oh, that's true. I mean, I was like, well, who fucking told them that they think... And then I was like concerned because I'm like, I don't think that the normal people of Samurai Town, I mean, I don't think that they know that like Tojo and everybody are vessels. I don't know what the world is like here. It seems to me, based on this, what she said and what we've seen, that like it's not like, oh, four folk are treated like garbage because Mimi's out there doing her tea house shit and whatever, and nobody's like treating her shit. There's the other guy that we met who is a foreign folk, and everybody treats them like normal. So it doesn't seem like there's any kind of like, in general, I mean, there's probably a person out there who's a douche, but in general, there's not like any kind of discrimination against foreign folks. So like vessels being sort of kinda like foreign folk, but also not, but they're also not normal humans. You know what I mean? It's not like that's the thing. I don't know if anybody knows that the vessels are vessels. They might just think they're normal people that are just able to fight the blight because they don't know any details. You know what I mean? So they might not know any better. So then I was thinking, like, well, why would they have told him, like, we think this vet and he's gonna, and like, then that's why they're shunning him. But it's more like, okay, kids are going missing. They were all going to his school, and like, yeah, I mean, that's not a far leap of logic because that's exactly what the Oniwaban did. Like, well, they all go to your school, so it's all, and this was a thing. Sorry, I moved my hand and brushed my thing. They go to your school, and this was a toy that you created for them, so you're obviously guilty. And it's like, you have no proof of anything. That's circumstantial evidence. What the fuck? You know what I mean? So if the Oniwaban was gonna diss him like that, and they know him, it would make sense for everyone else to. Now, the only thing the Oniwaban is sort of kind of can't blame them on is the, Kyoshiro being like, so like, goddamn blah, blah, blah memory thing. And he's like, yeah, like that fire. And he's like, oh, wait. You know what I mean? Is like realizing that he's got some cracks and that's not good. You know what I mean? So it does make him seem a little more suspicious in their eyes. But they were ready to condemn him with no fucking evidence anyway. So not surprising that rando strangers are going to jump on that bandwagon too. You know what I mean? Without having anybody else tell them anything. So, makes sense. Much like the Oniwaban, it made sense the children's families suspected him as well, right? In that case, let's ask someone who doesn't live in one of these mansions. One of them might know something. We greeted townsfolk who happened to be walking down the street. They stopped when we called out to them, but their behavior suddenly shifted when they realized Tojo was standing behind me. Then they'd leave. It only happened once or twice, but our moods sank even further, sorry. I guess the bad rumors about you must have made it around town. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that. I thought I understood the situation we were in, but it was much worse than I'd imagined. What do? We won't get our hands on any information this way. Tojo peered at me consolingly as I stood there, dejected, and that's probably why the Oniwaban was like, fine, you have like a month, and if you can figure it out, cool, otherwise, we're gonna axe you. Because they were like, no one's gonna tell him, because they're all even more sus of him than we are. Okay, bye Felicia, have fun with that. You know what I mean? So like, it's really no sweat off their back. Because if he goes out and say he was the perpetrator and was doing that, they're gonna have their eyes on him, and it's going to be harder for him to act. You know? And don't give up just yet. If we can't talk to the children's parents or any of the townfolk, we'll just have to get the info out of someone else. Like one of the kids. You're right. But who would be a good person to ask? I've been thinking, I might know exactly one person. You know them too. Oh? Who is it? Someone who's also been a real pain in the ass for the Oniwaban. You know, him. What's his face? Him? My boyfriend? Can't remember his name. Can never remember this fucker's name. There you go. Exactly. Him. He's like, him. Oh, yeah, him. That guy. You all knew who they were talking about. You knew who I was talking about. We all know. The next day, Tojo brought me to one of the parlor cells at the jail. Parlor cells? Solitary confinement cells for detaining high-ranking prisoners. These don't look solitary because there's like 3 individual cells that we can see right here. But if you're sitting in the middle one and then someone's on the right and someone's on the left, you can all talk to each other. It's not really solitary. It's solitary in that you have no human touch. But I can still talk to you if you're in any one of those cells. We can still scream and yell and, like, play bingo together and shit. So I'm just saying, this is not solitary. Solitary confinement is me in my house if I didn't go to work. I have more solitary confinement than these prisoners, is all I'm saying. That's by choice, but, you know. Actually, this would be hell for me. They'd be like, we're going to put you. I mean, I guess, I know, solitary because you're by yourself as opposed to Gen Pop where you're like, you're just in there, shoved in with like 30 people. Oh, that would be my nightmare. That's my prison. They're like, here's you, and you have to share a room with 5 other people, and you're never alone. Ever. God damn. I mean, technically, I'm never alone ever. I have a bird, but he doesn't count. One, you don't count because you don't know how to count. So, technically. And you don't really count as being alone because you're not another person, so. And if you really annoy me, I can put you in your cage and I can walk away. Can't really do that to a person. It's kind of like frowned upon or whatever. Do you hear him? No. He's just like, whatever, I'm napping, lady. I see. If you mean Tanichibo, I bet he already does know. I bet he actually does know something. At the very least, we'll probably get more useful info out of him than asking around at random. We found Tanichibo lying around in his cell when we came to visit. He clearly had a lot of free time on his hands. Well, look who it is. I figured you'd be coming here soon. Wait, you knew we were coming? But how would you? You want to know, do you? Then come here and give me a shoulder rub. I'll let Tojo do it. Sure. And don't take him seriously, Spacey. Tanichibo's just messing with you. Huh? He is? Damn, busted. Lame. And just when I thought you were reflecting on your actions in jail, here you are telling dumb lies. Nah, I just thought it'd be cool to act like the mastermind behind it all. This fucking idiot. You can't not like him a little bit. He's an idiot. You're like, you're kind of a likable idiot. You're an idiot. And I definitely am glad we do not have to romance your idiotness, but you're kind of a likable idiot, you know? You've got to be pulling my leg. At a time like this. Hey, I was just joshing with you. I've been bored out of my mind living here in jail all this time. I really do love when they say things like this. Like, I'm just joshing with you. Because I'm sure they said that in, like, ye olde times Japan. I'm sure. So, like, props to the localization team for having fun with it. Or honestly, like, even the original team writing that, because you know they put in something that the translation team was like, they'd be like joshing with you in English. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? That they, the little flavor text. So fun. What else did he fucking say before? I don't know. He was broing us, I'm sure. Don't look at me like that. You're gonna hurt my feelings giving me that cold stare. Then quit making jokes like that. You must be healthy as a horse if you're joking around like that. I got it pretty good since they're treating me like a key witness. Normally, only people of above average social standing were held in parlor cells like this one. He definitely did have it pretty good. Hey, I'm starving. Where's the grub? He shouted. Apparently that was his way of requesting meals from the guard keeping watch. He seemed to be thoroughly enjoying his stay. It's better than living in the woods. Just saying, you got a roof over your head. You don't have bugs crawling in your butt crack. They might be monitoring him, but it seems like his life here is more comfortable than I thought. After taking his food from the guard, Tanichibo dug in, looking rather content. Nothing beats a free meal. You getting free food? There you go. I don't care if you're eating, so listen up. We came here today because we wanted to ask you something. Ask me something? Who'd you get your Magatama from? Didn't we? I mean, here's the thing. I knew what Tojo was talking about. He's like, we got one person we can ask. And it was like, yeah, but we already tried this and he didn't remember anything. This is not like, let's see if he remembers anything new. Let's see if anything came back to him. He's like, hey, who'd you get that from? And he's like, some guy. What guy? I don't know. It was like 3 raccoons in a trench coat. Kinda. That's a Sims reference. Trashly real person. The new NPC in the newest expansion pack. It's 3 raccoons in a trench coat. still probably more legit than whoever Tanichibo got the Magatama from. Chomp, chomp, gulp. Anyway. This again! Tanichibo began to pout without any shame. I told you already. My answer hasn't changed no matter how many times you ask. I can't remember nothing about the guy I bought it from. I showed you all the shop where I bought it earlier, didn't I? And there was nothing there. I came clean with everything I know. Man, they even tortured and hypnotized me, and I still couldn't come up with nothing. Torture? So they resorted to that, huh? I mean, that's bad, but like, I'm curious about the hypnotize. You hypnotized him and it still didn't work. That's interesting. Check out these scars! Tanichibo showed us his back underneath his kimono. Multiple angry red welts ran down his back like he'd been struck with a whip. How horrible. I mean, even though he did almost cause an uprising and everything, it's... If you're going to torture him for being a dick, fine, but like, torturing him to get information out of him that he doesn't have... I mean, they're going to assume he was lying, though, but still. Tojo seemed to feel the same way I did, because he meekly lowered his head in apology to Tanichibo. Because, like, we believe that he doesn't remember. I'm sorry about that, Tanichibo. If we'd found the culprit sooner, you wouldn't have been hurt any more than necessary. You wouldn't have been hurt more than necessary. There's a necessary... fair enough, fair enough. He's not the most innocent human being. I'm sorry, Tanichibo. I lowered my head as well. I mean, it's not your fault. I definitely did do something bad, so it only makes sense I get roughed up. I mean, valid. Wait, where's the other guy today? Tumanari, I mean. I'll explain that in more detail. Tojo explained the situation, omitting all the information about vessels. For some reason, Tanichibo flashed us a wide grin once Tojo was done talking. Yeah, see, okay, so people don't know they're vessels. That they're, I get, in a realm similar to Form Folk. He's just like, yeah, they all think that I had something to do with this, you know. Huh, I see. So you're saying if I'm helpful, Kunitaka here would be forever indebted to me? And if Kunitaka finds whoever did all this on his own, it'll still be a huge disgrace to the shogunate that tortured me? Alright, I'll bite. I'll help you guys out. Do you believe I'm innocent? I mean, you didn't do it, right? No, of course not. If you say you didn't, that's good enough for me. I mean, okay, again, he's a likable idiot. You can't not like him a little. Even when he was being kind of evil, you're like, he's kind of an idiot, so you can't, like, be like, God, he's a good evil villain. You're like, he's just an idiot. You just can't take him seriously, but he's got a good heart. Thank you. Tojo's face lit up with relief after finally finding someone else who would take his side. After going through the anxiety of having no one else on our side, I was really grateful to have another ally. I mean, I don't know how much help he's going to be. He's behind bars, but, like, whatever. Unfortunately for you guys, I've already told you everything I know. It's reassuring to have your help either way. I'm sorry. I think it's just voices right now. Aside from hurting my... they don't really hurt my throat, but you can tell that my voice is wrecked. But, like, doing them and then it just makes me tired for some reason. Also, again, daylight savings time. I'm still not over that. It's been a day. But, like... it's like Monday that just happened Saturday into Sunday. You know what I mean? So like, but it's still like, no, I still can't. It'll, you know, be time to go back. It'll be time to fall back by the time I'm used to it. Okay, that's not true. I'll get used to it in a couple days. But like, ugh, I hate it. I lost an hour of my weekend. Guys. And everybody at work is being dumb. I mean, that's not true, but like, kinda. Like, God, it's like, come on, put your ducks in a row. Not a tetrahedron, a row. So it's aggravating. I know, I'm tired again, I'm sorry. Also, I like went to bed early last night because I was like, I'm tired. I was falling asleep on the couch, and then you like lay in bed for like an hour, and your brain's going a mile a minute, and you're like, seriously, 5 minutes ago I was literally falling asleep on the couch. Literally took like a 10-minute nap, and was like, I think it's time for bed. And then you get in bed, and you're like, ding, 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 wide awake, circus music playing, all fucking 7 rings of hell going on. Like, what the hell? So I'm tired. I decided to ask him some questions from a different angle than before. Why did you buy the Magatama? Oh, why did you buy the Magatama, Tanichibo? Did you buy something that just happened to be a cursed object? Was it presented as a cursed object when you bought it? After giving it some thought, Tanichibo began to speak like he was remembering the circumstances at the time. Well, I'm wondering because, like, kids are innocent. He's not the brightest crayon in the box. You know what I mean? So I wonder if it's easier to manipulate certain types of people and the kids are being manipulated. Like he was easy to manipulate because he thought what well, like he thought he was what's his name? Son, right? So it was easier to kind of manipulate him and get in his and mind control him with because he had this like end goal of like I'm going to prove that I'm his son type of a thing. I was on my way down the mountain the day after I'd finished training. I was walking thinking about selling some medicinal herbs. Right, then all of a sudden I see the Magatama. I didn't care that it belonged to someone else. Uh-huh. The second I saw it, I absolutely needed it. I had eyes for the Magatama and nothing else. And then? When I talked to them, they told me the Magatama had unique powers, and they'd sell it to me if I wanted it so badly. Pretty sure that's how it went anyways. So it's like a lore, maybe it's looking for something inside of them. You know what I mean? It's like, you have darkness inside you, and that's why it called to you. But if with him, it's not darkness necessarily. It's like this desire to prove who he thought he was type of a thing, you know? Then he said to bring up the Magatama's powers to my old man, the Shogun. I was honestly hoping to send a petition straight to him after doing some more training, but then I kind of lost perspective and... Something wrong? Wait. I think I might have talked to him about my dad. The memories themselves are fuzzy, so I'm not sure, but I probably did. I exchanged glances with Tojo. Whoever sold him the Magatama was definitely suspicious. I mean, I think we figured that out before we heard his story, but he definitely wasn't a merchant. I bet you he was standing there with the intention of handing you the Magatama from the very start. He handed it to me, but I paid for it. They had no need to turn you down when you were willing to pay, and they just made a profit on you. What? You mean I spent every last bit of money I had when he was planning to give it to me for free? Damn it! Give me my money back! That's unfortunate. You have my sympathies. Either way, don't get hung up on that part. No matter how fascinating it might have been, was it really mesmerizing enough to make you forget everything else? True. I couldn't think about anything other than the Magatama. You think I was bewitched? It happened right around nightfall. Maybe it was some kind of yokai. And based on what we just talked about, maybe the person who sold you the Magatama wasn't a person at all. Maybe they were 3 raccoons in a trench coat. Just saying. Just 3 raccoons in a trench coat. Yikes. I never saw scary stuff like yokai out in the mountains. Tanichibo resumed eating what was left of his meal after replying in an easygoing manner. Tojo and I gave him a sidelong glance, then continued talking. Tojo, when you say whoever sold him the Magatama might have not been human and had been 3 raccoons in a trap, just want to keep that going, it's funny. I thought a human was using the Blightfall to cause these incidents, like what happened with Tanichibo. But maybe that's not what happened at all. Maybe a Blightfall itself is deceiving humans. Oh, I was gonna be like, you think it's one of the vessels? It's somebody on our team? Because that would kind of ruin the whole. But this makes more sense. Because you're like, what if it was? But then you'd find out who it was, and that would ruin a character's route, or nothing would get resolved in this one. So I see. If a blight falls infecting things with malice and turning them into cursed objects, it explains how mere toys became cursed objects. This is logical. I'd seen Blightfall born from people infected with malice back in the village. If these cursed objects were made using that same process... A naturally occurring Blightfall aren't intelligent enough for that, though. Meaning there's a chance the culprit behind this is a human turned Blightfall. I've heard it explained before, but what does that actually entail? I've only seen it a few times myself, and they retain their human intelligence and can speak, which makes for extremely wicked beings. Okay, they just kind of they're like, hey, here's the thing. Oh, sorry, I cannot stop yawning. I'm so sorry, but we gotta power through, guys, because I'm extremely behind, and then the weekend, I've gotten ahead enough for when the couple of days I can't record and everything, but then I come back and then I'm only a couple of days ahead, so I got to do the best I can. Even though today I was I didn't get to record earlier. I'm only able to record one thing today, and I'm I'm gonna not finish what I need to do, but it was better than nothing, but that means that I'm yawning constantly and I cannot stop it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I was not yawning this much while I was sitting downstairs pretending to work for the last 30 minutes before I came up here. And now I can't stop. That's probably because I'm talking so much, but anyway, whatever. It would make sense if it was a human turned Blightfall and then they've obviously got a grudge against the Shogun, probably, I would assume. That would make sense, but anyway. I had no idea Blightfall like that existed. And there's one thing we've cleared up by coming here. Tenichibo's plan to claim he was the son of the Shogun being bumped up. Tenichibo's plan to claim he was the son of the Shogun being bumped up. The children and residences of prominent daimyos being targeted. Okay, it was just... And hypnotized children cursing the shogunate. These incidents all demonstrated a single fact. And there's no doubt about it. Whoever's behind this is trying to cause harm to Edo itself. Given that they were deliberately targeting prominent daimyo, they seem to be trying to destroy the shogunate by going after its central pillar. That must have been why the temple school had also been targeted. The children of samurai families gathered there. Does that mean their eventual target is Chiyoda Castle and Lord Yoshimune himself? I fear that might be the case. The Blightfall also have 9 children at their disposal. Edo will bounce back after any attack as long as its central pillar is safe. If anything were to happen to Lord Yoshimune, however, Edo would be thrown into a state of chaos. If they really plan on targeting Lord Yoshimune, the children might already be on standby somewhere near the castle. True. We can't afford to put that aside. Hey! Tenichibo, who had finished eating at some point, said rather languidly, I don't get what you guys are talking about. But the gist of it is that yokai kidnapped some children and is trying to destroy Edo, yeah? That yokai kind of sounds like a kidnapping god. Kidnapping god. The type of yokai that kidnaps children out playing until dusk. A kidnapping god? You mean those yokai that abduct children? That would make, yeah. Oh, yeah? Well, it's been awfully inconvenient not having a name for this Blightfall. Let's call it the Kidnapping God temporarily. Sounds good. I'm assuming Kidnapping God actually has a Japanese name that translates to Kidnapping God as well. Because, let's call it Kidnapping God. Because calling it Kidnapping God sounds a little lame. You're like, that's a really bad operation. Operation Find Kidnapping God. You gotta come up with something better? You know? Let's call him Stan. Alright. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming there was an actual Japanese word for kidnapping God and they just translated it for us. But it's You could have left it. We'd have figured it out. It might have been difficult, especially if it was very long and there's lots of L's in there. But, like, we'd have stumbled through it and managed, I guess. But, eh. Oh, you used my idea. Thanks to Tanichibo's help, we'd closed in on the enemy's true form ever so slightly. Like, they didn't call yokai, like, they didn't translate that and be like spirit demons or whatever. I don't know what that really translates to. Like, I have a vague, but you know what I mean? Like, I understand, but I don't know what, like, my brain understands. Is like, no, it's like, they're like spirit things, but like, I don't know the actual, like, I'd have to look it up again. I know, like, I knew at one point, but you know what I mean? Like, they didn't go, like, vengeful spirits! Actually, I thought, which one is it? There's one that's more like vengeful water spirits, but it's like, you know what I mean? That's a whole other tangent. Anyway, but you know what I mean? They left it with the Japanese term. So I'm just curious what kidnapping god was actually, like, called. I guess it's more curiosity. Oh, my brain's not working, guys. I'm half asleep. Although we were still grasping at straws, Tojo and I had detected a small sliver of hope. Ow! That's not nice. God, that you have a tiny sharp beak and you just bit me, and that really hurt. That's not nice. You was very, very mean. Bad bird. Not nice. The following day, we figured the enemy would strike Chiyoda Castle next. You can't snug with me if you're going to bite. With that hypothesis in mind, Tojo and I headed over to Chiyoda Castle. Will they let us in the castle even though we're under suspicion? No worries. I received permission from the Oniwaba on the day before. Glad you got permission. And the Oniwaban are also hoping we'll turn up some clues by looking around. And then the kids attack and they're like, you were here and then it happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not helping our case. If the kidnapping god actually has its sights set on the castle, it'll try to break in somewhere. I'd like to figure out where exactly. Doing that might help us protect not just the castle, but all of Edo. We've got to do the best we can. We decided to walk around the perimeter of Chiyoda Castle first. I mean, it's nice of them if he calls and asks, like, hey, can I poke around the castle? They're like, sure, why not, bro? We think that the bad person's going to attack the castle, and we're just going to, like, look and investigate. That's exactly what someone suspicious would say, who is looking for weaknesses in the defense. I'm just saying. No, I didn't find anything. Except for that gaping hole that I cracked in the wall. I mean, nothing. No, everything's good. Everything looks good. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So there's got to be something in them that's like, yeah, all signs point to Tojo, but, like, I don't really think it's Tojo, but unfortunately, like, doesn't look good, but, so. Maybe they have a little more faith in him than they're pretending or letting on. Looking at this reminds me just how tight security is around Chiyoda Castle. It's the center of Edo, after all. The moat winding around the castle was so wide, anyone attempting to cross would be discovered before they made it to the other side. It was also considerably deep. Tall walls loomed on the other side of most of the moat as well. It was absolutely impossible to infiltrate the castle from there. There were also a lot of guards. You could attempt to sneak in, but you'd be discovered immediately. True. Is the kidnapping god really planning to break in? They're children. They're on a field trip. Is it even really targeting the castle in the first place? Maybe my hypothesis was off the mark. Definitely not. Don't get discouraged. Spacey, you're right. Sorry about that. I guess I was just getting impatient. I was just thinking that if we don't find any leads to help the children soon, it might be too late. It's kind of cute that he's not really thinking like it's too late to help the kids. Like, aw, aren't you adorable? Fuck the kids, I'm here to save you. Bless you. And not just them. At this rate, all of Edo will be in danger too. Tojo? I could tell he really was feeling impatient, which I found bewildering. What's going on? Something about the way Tojo's acting seems different than I've ever seen him act before. As I wondered to myself what might have caused him to behave so strangely, I gasped when my eyes landed on his neck. The threat, because he's got cracks forming, he's getting emotion, so yeah. I I can see his threads clearly now. And they were the unmistakable, inconcealable color of impatience. What's up? Tojo, around your neck. Tojo seemed to have guessed what I was trying to say, even though I didn't finish my sentence. He reached toward his own neck, even though he couldn't touch them. How long have you been able to see them? How do I answer him while still sparing his feelings as much as I can? Just now is the right answer. Answer honestly. Tell him only just now. I mean, how is that different? Because that makes it sound like telling him only just now. Only just now. I never noticed it before, but we haven't noticed them before. Because earlier when she was looking, she's like, I don't see any threads, even though I know he's got cracks and he's got emotion, but I still can't see his threads. She specifically said that. And they've never mentioned them again until right now. So right now is the first time she noticed them. So how are these answers different? Unless it's a matter of only just now, or like honestly is like I was looking for them before, but I haven't seen them until now. Then that's kind of like slightly different, but you still haven't seen them till now. I mean, answer honestly, but also tell them only just now because it's the wording of it that makes like honestly, but the honestly is just now. The only way to answer his question is to be honest. I've been able to faintly detect your threads ever since you regained your memories. Well, that's not true, though, because I swear she said before she couldn't see them. Maybe I'm misremembering. Because I swear when we were at his house, she's like, she couldn't see his threads. Or maybe she couldn't tell what color they were. Maybe that's what she meant. Like, I can't see the color. Like, so she can't tell what emotion he's in because you have threads, but you can't tell what color they are. You know, like there's something there, but I can't quite tell, what your emotional state is. And now I can clearly see what your emotional state is. Maybe that's what she meant. And like, I don't know. Or maybe that's like what they said and I just, for some reason, misremembered because it has been a few days. But this is the first time they've ever been clear enough for me to make out the color, though. Okay, so that's probably what they said. But my brain was like, hasn't been able to see them. Is that right? Seeing him all shaken up reminded me of when I lived in the village. Telling the villagers I could see their threads really spooked them. It's not that you being able to see his threads spooks him, it's the fact that he has threads that's spooking him because he's not used to that, A long time ago, I was feared as a mind-reading demon who could peer into people's thoughts and went through life having people talk about me behind my back. Normal people were scared of having their minds read. They found it eerie. I mean, it is a little, to be fair. I hope I haven't made Tojo feel the same way. Oh, that must have made you uncomfortable. I'm sorry. Nah, not at all. I don't mind you being able to see my emotions. I was just surprised to hear that my heart was coming back to me too, and not just my memories, I guess. That's what I would have assumed with him. It's more like, wait, what? Like, I'm shocked you can see them. Not, oh my god, you're weird for telling me that. It's, oh dear god, I'm not used to having them, so it's a bit embarrassing knowing you're in on my thoughts. He smiled shyly. It looked like I hadn't hurt his feelings after all, and then we're gonna notice when they're flaming red with passion and lust. Huh. Suddenly, Tojo looked behind him. I looked in the same spot, but didn't see anyone there, just trees. He continued staring at the trees. Tominari! He called out Tominari's name. To my surprise, Tominari silently emerged from the shade of the trees. Wait, Tominari? Hello, Spacey. Tominari had completely concealed himself, and yet Tojo was still able to detect his presence. Frankly, I was impressed. But why is he here? And why is he hiding? Somebody's making sure Tojo's not doing shitty shit. Excuse me, Tominari, but why are you... Oh. It occurred to me the second I asked why he was here. You wouldn't happen to have been watching us this entire time, have you? Well, yeah, I was. Ugh, I knew it. It surprised me that he admitted it so readily. I was also bewildered because I've never been monitored before. Thinking about it logically, there was no way the Oniwaban would let Tojo, their prime suspect, roam freely under the current circumstances. That's what I said earlier. I'm like, really? You're just gonna... Sorry. This is also part of my mission. Yeah, it's okay. It definitely makes sense for someone to be tailing us. I glanced over at Tojo and saw him looking rather torn. The threads around his neck showed a touch of frustration. It amazed me that he was able to detect Tominari, but perhaps it took him longer than usual to notice. He'd been under a lot of stress the last few days, so it was no surprise he didn't notice someone was keeping a close watch on him. Tojo's smile was seemingly collected. That was pretty awesome, Tominari. You really upped your undercover game. Even I didn't notice you until just now. Tominari didn't say a single thing in response to his praise. Not on speaking terms with me? Damn. Tominari probably already regarded Tojo as an enemy. Oh. Well, you're all gonna be assholes begging for his forgiveness, and you're lucky that it's Tojo. Because he'll forgive you when all of a sudden we prove him innocent, and you're like, oh, we're sorry, we blamed you, and he'd be like, you damn right you are, assholes. That makes me so sad. It's almost like their entire past working together as comrades never even happened. I mean, to be fair to the Oniwaban, the information that they have makes Tojo look guilty, and even if they are like, it doesn't seem like something he would do, but also they don't have all the evidence, so they're in a very tough spot themselves, you know what I mean? Like, the evidence we have makes you look guilty, but it's really just circumstantial evidence, and it's not really conclusive. So it's the only conclusion we can come to, though. And most of them don't have hearts, so they're just like, all the kids from your school are missing, therefore you are guilty. Done. Bye. Whereas if they had hearts like a normal human, they'd be a little more torn about that decision. You know what I mean? Hey, Tominari, we're in the middle of doing our own independent investigation of the Blightfall in this case. I explained how it was very likely that they'd eventually target Chiyoda Castle, then Lord Yoshimune, based on the information we'd gathered. That certainly may be the case. The castle is securely guarded, though. It's absolutely impossible for the enemy to sneak in. Have you seen a Blightfall? I don't think they need to sneak in. They just need to get 9 kids to pop up out of nowhere and control 9 Blightfalls and destroy the motherfucking castle from 9 angles. You don't need to sneak. You don't need to sneak when you have smoke monsters, essentially. Why are you so convinced it's impossible? Whoever's behind this string of Blightfall cases has been outwitting us left and right. Because this time, I'll be watching. I didn't understand what he meant for a second. When it hit me a moment later, I felt sad. Quit saying that like you've already decided it's all Tojo's doing. I believe it's very likely to be. It sounded like it would be an uphill battle to convince him otherwise. Still, I began to implore him. Tojo and I won't make much progress on our own. If you could just help us out. I can't because that would go against orders. I expected as much, but his answer made me even sadder. But this is the same teammate who guarded Samurai Town with you. You and Tojo mean a lot to me, Tominari. You came to the village to get me, and you showed me how vast the world truly is. The thought of you two being at each other's throats like this makes me so sad. Sorry. I don't mean to sadden you, but I can't. That's enough, Spacey. Tojo placed his hand on my shoulder and smiled sorrowfully. And Tominari also has his position in the Oniwaban to consider. He can't help us. But, Tojo... Ask him all you want, but vessels aren't swayed by emotion. That's exactly what makes us suited for fighting Blightfall. When I heard Tojo say this, I couldn't think of anything to say in response. Then a hawk flew out from nowhere and landed on a nearby tree. Kyoshiro's hawk. Oh, it's Kyoshiro's pet hawk. Does the poor hawk not have a name? Kyoshiro's pet hawk. Just like before, there was a letter tied to its leg. Tominari untied it, then scanned the letter. I saw slight wrinkles forming on his brow while he read it. Did something happen? Tominari muttered a single sentence in response to my question. The Blightfalls appeared inside the castle. Told you they didn't have to sneak in. The three of us hurried inside to where it had spawned. Tominari said nothing about Tojo and I tagging along. He probably determined that having a little more manpower wouldn't hurt given the emergency situation. When we arrived on the scene, the battle against the Blightfall had already begun. Standing there fighting the Blightfall were... It's Miyachi and Yabuta. Like... We're in chapter 6, right? Okay. They were working together to confront the Blightfall. This Blightfall's ridiculously strong. Still, we have to keep it at bay. I know! The Oniwabon were outnumbered, going up against such a powerful Blightfall, especially by 2 humans who can't do jack shit. I mean, they can keep it at bay, but they can't kill it. You know what I mean? Because they can't do the snow sacrament, so... Tominari immediately unsheathed his sword and joined the battle. I'll back you up. Stand back, Spacey. Okay, be careful. Tojo appeared shortly after Tominari, causing a look of surprise to briefly flash across Miyagi and Yabuta's faces. They turned towards the Blightfall in front of them for now, saying nothing. I'm sorry, our, emo wizard actually looks really good when he's in fighting pose. He's, hot and nerdy at the same time. Yeah! Ah! I can't do it. Right now it's gonna break my throat. Now that Tojo and Tominari had joined the fray, the Oniwabon outnumbered the Blightfall. We had the upper hand. I watched the battle unfold from afar like I was told. Then I noticed there was an oyster catcher stuck to the Blightfall's mask. This must be another Blightfall summoned by a child. Thinking of the children being manipulated by somebody filled me with worry and rage. Follow, you can be follow, walk out, follow, and find where the you know what I mean? Since the oyster catcher, the Blightfall's weak point, was attached to a spot that was easy to see, defeating this one was bound to be a cinch. It's over for you! Tojo swung his sword, slicing the oyster catcher with one sharp blow, or so it seemed. For some strange reason, the Blightfall continued its rampage without being purified. What? Because he's not a vessel. That's why I'm not shocked, because I'm surprised they let him fight, because he can't... that's why they have vessels. Only the vessels can perform the snow sacrament, right? He is a vessel, but his heart hasn't been sealed. It's unsealed now, so he wouldn't be able to perform the snow sacrament anymore. It makes sense that it wouldn't die. I was like, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that they had him do it so that would be the reveal or anything, but I'm surprised that anybody else here wouldn't have been like, no, wait. You can't do this. He's as useless fighting these as Miyagi and Yabuta. I mean, you can keep them at bay, you can slash their tentacles and fight them, but you can't kill them. He's as useless at killing. Good boy. I was taking the bird for a potty break. But you know what I mean? He's as useless at killing them as the 2 of them. Fighting them, sure, but killing them? Nope, you can't do it. So, not surprised. Not surprised at all. What? Oh, I just threw my... freaking tablet flew off my chair as I was going to sit back down. Tojo seemed to find it surprising as well, because the threads around his neck turned the color of astonishment. Why didn't that work? Did his attack not land hard enough? No, come on, geniuses. Figure it out. I'll attack it. Kunataka, keep it in check. Got it. The Blightfall was so focused on them it didn't even notice me. Although I was interested in seeing how the battle was unfolding, I decided to use this opportunity to find out where the Blightfall summoner was located. The black threads lead behind the Blightfall. Not good. I can't follow the threads without walking in front of it. I quickly scanned my surroundings. If I take a roundabout path through the room, I should be able to pass behind the Blightfall. All right, then. You could walk out of the room. It's got to go. There's got to be another room behind you. I started moving quietly to keep from drawing the Blightfall's attention. Sorry, bird. What? Then a piece of wooden crate landed nearby. I froze up for a moment, but managed to keep my eye on the black threads. I'm sure I'll find the summoner by following these threads. At that moment, I heard the Blightfall's death throes echoing throughout the inside of the castle. When I looked back in surprise, I caught Tominari dealing the finishing blow to the Blightfall.
Snow Sacrament, complete.
The black threads, my only lead, vanished into thin air before my very eyes, meaning I wouldn't be able to determine where the summoner was. I didn't make it in time. I headed over to Tojo and the rest of the Oniwaban now that the battle was over. Great job, everyone.
You're not hurt, are you?
No, I'm fine. I was actually trying to follow the black threads, but I didn't make it in time.
Ah, well, not much you can really do. Sorry, I finished it off too quickly.
It's probably better that you did, to be fair.
Our policy is to keep the Blightfall alive as long as possible so we can find the summoner. But given the location...
It's all right. I completely understand. Great job on the Snow Sacrament. Miyagi and Yabuta approached while I was talking to Tominari.
Thank you so much for coming to help. We would have been in a real pinch on our own. Right, Kyuhiko?
Ugh, I guess.
He's so fucking bitchy. I love him so much.
Not as much as I love Kyoshiro. But still, I love our bitchy little wizard. They were both acting a bit awkward, probably because of Tojo. Still, defeating the Blightfall had diffused some of the tension. I figured this would be my only chance to talk to them. So I was wondering... Everyone turned their attention toward me. Thankfully, we managed to end the battle with just some structural damage. That may not be the case next time. If this continues, Lord Yoshimune himself might eventually be in danger. Couldn't we work together to keep that from happening? Tominari didn't react to my idea at all. Miyagi averted his gaze, troubled, while Yabuta frowned grumpily. Look at Miyagi's little face. He's like, I want to have faith in Tojo, but they won't let me. And Yabuta's like, God damn it, I hate everyone. Why can't you get this? It didn't look good. I tried to sweeten the deal. If you work with us, we'll provide the Oniwaban with all the information we've gathered. The more information you have, the better. Well, that said, still... Miyagi was a kind, chummy guy. Maybe he still had some reservations about Tojo's sentence. I bet he does. Could you consider it, pretty please?
That would be difficult, I suppose you could say. Yeah, you're so damn indecisive. Just cut to the chase.
Yabuta impatiently glared at Tojo and me.
As long as he hasn't been cleared of his charges, we can't share any information with him. Takamura's been monitoring you from the very start. Any useful information you've gathered would have been included in his reports.
He was right. I never had room to bargain from the very start.
Let's get going, Miyagi. Oh, sure. We'll be taking our leave then.
Oh, he's so sweet. Yabuta left in a huff, and Miyagi promptly followed after him. I just love the fact that Yabuta's always like on permanent bitch mode. Like, permanent bitch mode. He doesn't have resting bitch face. He's permanent bitch face. It was no use. I already knew it. In the end, we couldn't go back to being friends unless I proved Tojo was innocent. In other words, finding the kidnapping god was our only option.
And don't let it get you down. It's all they can do from their point of view.
Maybe so, but... I like the fact that Tojo isn't angry about it. He's like, yeah, I understand their perspective, and like, it sucks, but... And then she's just like, come on, guys, let's all be friends again. And it's just sad about it. You know what I mean? Like, because like, even though... Okay, Miyagi and Yabuta are different because they're actual people, but like, everybody else is a vessel, so they have no emotions. But even though they don't have strong emotions, they still have like some kind of like family bond. You know what I mean? They're like, nope, facts are fact. Tojo did it. There you go. We're going to kill him. But you know that somewhere inside they're like, I don't like that we have to do this, but it's our only recourse right now because he just looks guilty. You know? But you know they probably don't like it. But half facts are half facts. And that's what we got. You know, 1 plus 1 is 6 right now, but sure, it's still a number. Because, like, the things don't add up. I mean, I guess they kind of add up. Huh, all the kids that went missing were from your class. It was an oyster catcher that you made for them. Okay. But again, it's circumstantial evidence and it's coincidental. And instead of them going, yeah, you know what, I think this looks a little too sus. It seems like he's being framed. They're like, the evidence we have points to you, done. That's it. No consideration of anything else. I don't think that they love that idea. They're not like, woohoo, we hate Tojo. They're like, if they had emotions, they'd be like Miyagi. He's like, I mean, I don't like this because I feel like it. Yabuta's just an asshole. This doesn't count. But I feel like they'd all be in the same boat. Like, we're a family, and like we don't want to believe that Tojo's guilty. It doesn't look good for him now, but let's see what happens. You know what I mean? And that's why we got his stay of execution. So, you know what I mean? But, you know, them not having emotion makes you madder at them. Like, God damn it! Stop being emotionless robots! Well, wait, that's actually the whole point. You know? But you can't really blame them, even though you want to. You want to be mad, but you're like, they're emotionless robots, so understandable. But it's just cute that, like, you know, somewhere inside they're like, I don't like this, but it is what it is, and I don't have enough emotional intelligence, because it's been locked away. Not for, you know what I mean? To sort this out and go, wait, let me figure out how I really feel about this. They're like, nope. 1 plus 1 is 2, and there you go, that's it. You and the kids from your thing and the oyster catchers, and okay, there you go, that's it. And they're not thinking past that. So, like, you can't blame them. And then Tojo not being mad at them, just being like, nah, I kind of get where they're coming from. I know I didn't do it and I wish they believed me, but I'm not going to be mad at them for it. And she's not mad at them. She's like, oh, it just hurts. It's just cute. It just belays about how, you know, family everybody is, even if they're an emotionless robot family. You know? So see, you can still be an emotionless robot and have family. Oh, wait. Oh, no, what? No, what was I missed the line. I'm sorry you're doing all this for me, Spacey. Tojo was smiling in an attempt to comfort me, but the threads around his neck were the color of sadness. Aww. He's just trying to put on a brave face, the poor thing. Even Tojo's feeling sad, especially so now that he has his heart back. The thought made life as a vessel seem overwhelmingly sad. Not allowed to have hearts, disposed of if their hearts return. What a horribly unreasonable life. You still haven't given up. It'll probably only lead to suffering on your part, you know. Okay, listen, we're having a moment. Don't ruin it. Even if it does, I won't give up till the bitter end. Still, it really drove home the situation I found myself in. We have a tough road ahead of us. Also, if you kill Tojo, I'm going back home to the mountains and I refuse to help the rest of you. You can all go fuck yourselves. Just saying. I sighed internally. We're going to do the next day, not tomorrow, the day after, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.